Hello and welcome to ProtoMet's First Impressions, where I give my thoughts on the first episode of any new tokusatsu show. And you may notice that I'm not on the normal First Impressions set. That's because that set is actually for Game Zilong most of the time, and we recently redecorated there, so in order to avoid anybody getting a sneak peek at what it looks like before we're ready to debut it, I'm not on the set, so it's going to be happening here. And hello! Today I'm going to be talking about the new Korean tokusatsu series, Armored Saurus, which I saw a trailer for a few months ago, thought it looked cool, forgot about it, and then somebody released the first 2 episodes with subs, and so now I've watched the first episode, and I'm giving my thoughts on it. I was surprised at how much of an info dump we got at the very beginning of the first episode, because, oh boy, there is a fair bit of lore for this series, apparently. First off, it reveals how the dinosaurs went extinct, which is that aliens showed up and abducted pretty much all of them. That's how the dinosaurs went extinct, I guess, according to the show. Apparently there was like only one T-Rex left behind or something. I think he was called Red Dragon or something. It seems like it's going to be important since he seems to have shown up by the end of this episode, but I'll get to that. But anyway, aliens showed up, they abducted all of the dinosaurs, took them back to their home planet, and basically were the villains from Dino Riders, essentially. In that they forced the dinosaurs to become cyborgs. And it became such a prevalent issue that now all of the dinosaurs that were abducted, they're now just all robots. They're all robots, and they've basically taken over the aliens that abducted them. I think that's what happened. But anyway, fast forward to 2028, when humanity has figured out how to clone dinosaurs. They just happen to figure out how to clone dinosaurs, and they're cloning dinosaurs, and then the aliens come back to try and get some of the more dinosaurs that are being made. But now, I guess some other alien race has shown up to stop them, and they managed to destroy their big space weapon that was going to terraform the Earth. And then, I think it was called Eternal... Oh, it was Eternal something. Not Eternal Core, that's from Ultraman Trigger. Eternal something. I can't remember, but like pieces of it go spread down onto the Earth. It ends up causing a car crash, and a baby is saved by one of the aliens from a burning car. So then we flash forward to 2041, 13 years later. And I assume that saved baby is the kid that we're introduced to almost immediately, who decides to skip a field trip to Jurassic Park, basically. Or I guess Jurassic World, since that one actually got off the ground for a little while. But it's such a throwaway reference. It's like really, they have parks with dinosaurs? Like, this is just straight up, that's just straight up Jurassic Park. And that's just a throwaway? Okay. I guess with dinosaurs kind of being around for so many years, it's a bit unimpressive after a while. But anyway, this guy goes off on his bike to go have a part-time job as part of a food delivery service, and it is surprisingly high-tech and yet still kind of slummy. It's kind of cool. But basically, this kid on his bike, he's got just a regular pedal bike, but everybody else, they've got like motorbikes, and he is willing to go deliver some chicken to a mountain place that none of the other people are willing to go to, despite double pay. It's basically established that this kid is basically the breadwinner of his family, so he kind of has to do these jobs. He needs the money. So he goes off to go deliver that food. Meanwhile, on this same mountain pass, we're getting a bunch of like soldiers who are transporting what appears to be that T-Rex from before, but now encased in like ice or crystal or something. And they get attacked by what are called mech raptors, which are just robot raptors. Yeah. And the whole transport crew are killed. And this kid gets caught up in the crossfire because he comes across the wreckage. And then he's saved by these dudes in like armor suits. In like armored uniforms. Who are they're clearly the aliens from like 13 years earlier who were present for him. I'm assuming it's him being saved from the car crash. I guess. It's a lot of stuff that's going over my head, but it's easy to process as you're watching it. And they're soon joined up by this other guy who's piloting a Triceratops. This series reminds me a lot of Dino Riders, a series that I don't think that ever had a cartoon. I think it was just a toys. I recall watching Monster Island Buddy's review of the toy commercials, so that's why that's so fresh in my mind. And it does feel a lot like that, especially later when like this blue ranger shows up and she deploys armor for a Triceratops. So we get a blue armored Triceratops that shows up to battle a Mecha Pteranodon that shows up. And there's actually the series has a lot of CGI. Like yes, there are characters in costumes, but for the most part, they're just basically wearing armored uniforms. They're not... This isn't your traditional tokusatsu series. This actually kind of comes across feeling a bit more like, say, something like Born Free or Koseidon. Early Koseidon, though. Which I'm fine with. I'm fine with this being something unique. It certainly looks unique. It heavily utilizes CGI, and I think it does so pretty well. But there are quite a few moments where it's pretty obvious that they're using CGI, and not all of the CGI is fantastic. But given that this is for a television series, I can kind of forgive it a bit because it still looks pretty good. Just not like Marvel Cinematic Universe levels of quality. Granted, that's Marvel. They've got Disney back in them. But anyway, a Mega Mecha Pteranodon shows up. That's what they call it. And a dude tries to fight it just on his own. And he doesn't get defeated. But it's clear that there's no way that he can actually win. So then they call in that Triceratops that gets blue armor. And yeah, a lot of stuff happens. And while everybody's fighting the bike kid, who just kind of stumbled upon a lot of this, he makes a break for it because that's kind of why these soldiers are now here, to keep him safe. Because he's a civilian who's just kind of got caught up in all of this. So he runs off, gets chased by the mech raptors, which is still a bit of an odd thing to say, but I kind of like their design because they kind of look like they got feathers on them. And then Red Dragon shows up, and it looks like he's going to eat the kid or something. And then the episode ends. And boy, the next episode preview really promises a lot. Like, it's actually a surprisingly lengthy preview, and it seems to just put out a bunch of plot details that just weren't covered in this episode. Probably for time reasons, because it looks like the next episode is going to be very busy. But I'm certainly looking forward to checking that out and seeing more of this series. This is honestly a pretty unique tokusatsu series, and I am very interested in checking out where it goes and how things progress. So, yeah. I guess I don't really have a whole lot more to say. So, until next time, this has been me, ProtoMet. See ya!